Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men. I'm a techie. I'm a nerd, fellow podcaster. My favorite podcast is IT in the D.
Welcome back. Happy New Year. Thank you for hanging out with us. This is the one and only IT in the D show. I'm your host, Bob Waltenspiel, hanging out with co-host, producer extraordinaire, Randy Walker, a guest this week. So this was an idea we had. We always bring in the CISOs, we're bringing the CIOs, we're bringing the business owners, talking strategy. We haven't brought anyone that fixes all the stuff when it breaks.
Yeah, the guy that responds to tickets.
The ticket guy. And that's and it's funny because for the longest time, IT and we were dedicated to like getting people started at the desk. Well, you're kind of the master of it and you're regular at the IT and the D show. So we wanted to bring Mr. Brad Woessner in the house. But you can find us online, itinthed.com. Do us a favor, give us a like on the socials, subscribe to us everywhere. Fine podcasts are sold.
You were proactive and booked the whole month, the whole year of meetups for Detroit side. So our first Detroit side meetup will be Thursday, January 22nd at Bar Louie in Royal Oak. We're heading back there. Pretty good spot. We get a good crowd there. So
Bar Louie reaches out. He goes, "Yeah, man, I hate to do this to you, but I can't book you on the 15th, right? Third Thursday." And I go, "Oh no." He goes, "Can you do it the 22nd?" I go, "I think we can do it on the 22nd. Then I go to edit it, and I made it for the 22nd originally. So see, it all works out. The universe was looking out for me.
That's an oopsie.
Yeah, there was a.
I didn't even check the date. I figured the 22nd was the third Thursday.
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
First was a Thursday.
Yeah. Okay,
that's all right.
So we're breaking cadence for the very first one of the year.
Fine, it don't count.
And then first Ann Arbor event will be Wednesday, February 4th, 5 p.m. at the Holmes Brewery on Jackson.
Who's Holmes?
It's good food. Have you ever been over to
No.
Holmes? Good food, good beer. And I don't like beer, but they have some good.
I want to go to
stuff.
that Cuban burger place in Ann Arbor.
They have one downtown here.
Do they? Oh, that's the one. It's weird to walk there because it's in the stadium thing.
Oh, no, it's on the.
I walked past it like
Columbia
after event. Yeah. But anyway,
Which place is this?
Frito Petitos.
Frito Petitos?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
I went to it in Toronto. And it was fantastic.
Do they have a Toronto location now?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
That's what I went to first.
Okay. Ann Arbor was the OG.
I'm on a hunt now for the burger. Now that Zip Sauce Burger opened in the gas station in Shelby Township, I'm going. I don't care where it is. I'm driving. I gotta go. And now that I've had Little Ghost, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one in Ferndale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good.
There's a new burger place that just opened in Ferndale too. Bun and Run on Hilton, just before 10 Mile. It's over the Hilton Road Cafe used to be.
Oh.
And they're open until like 2 a.m. So,
ooh.
Yeah. 3 a.m. on weekends.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Maybe
on my list to check out. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, first time seeing you during the New Year.
It has. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Meetups. Yeah. We haven't had. So, yeah, kind of setting it up here. I don't know where to start because you've seen it all. You've done it all.
Yeah. So I've, start off, I've known you for 10 years now. Because I've been coming to IT in the D since 2016. And I know that because I started coming to IT in the D because of where I work now. One of my coworkers would constantly come to these events and he was like, "Oh, you got to come to this thing. It's a bunch of nerds drinking beer and talking shit about work."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's my entire game.
Right.
That's a perfect scenario for any night of my life. So I came to it and it was I think last pink slip party that was ever thrown back in 2016.
We had half the crowd at the Majestic. And I said, I guess the market shifted. We're done.
Yes.
So that was pretty much the end of the pink slips.
But that was my introduction to IT in the D events, was going to this massive party there. In my perspective, being like, why are there so many people here? This is insane.
So it was the time my father never saw me DJ. All those crazy nights at the Post Bar, lines for an hour. And the one time I DJ'd this, it's like all the German clubs, there's like 12 cities get together on Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. And they have like the kids dance. Kids is like the 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
But there was probably like 2,000 kids on this dance floor going bananas for anything I played.
Right.
And my dad was at like in the back watching. And I'm like, so now in his mind, every party I've ever DJ'd was that. Just banger rager. Yeah. So
that's perfect.
Good times. So yeah, IT, like you've been, so 10 years. So I'm interested from your perspective too, like building your networks. The whole thing was like building friendships, building your network, you know, like your next job, all this stuff. Like, but you kind of go in and just kind of like shoot the shit. Like you're not in there to like, you don't have a goal. Like there's a lot of people like want to sell something or they have an angle, and then they got it and then they never see them again. But like you've never had an angle all these years.
No, for the last 10 years, ironically enough, is during time that I haven't been looking for work or anything. So it's come in, see what people are talking about, see what kind of like technology people are touching that I haven't heard of yet, or basically go, hey, did you guys see that new update that Microsoft deployed for this system and everything? And just hearing people go, oh my God, don't even bring that up. I don't want to think about that right now. And just going right into just, shooting the shit with people.
Right.
Because I'm not, I've talked to recruiters and everything like that. I've gotten some connections and everything. I've gotten people added onto LinkedIn. So if something happens, I do have those like backup doors,
which
is amazing.
Networking the right way.
Right,
not like, oh shoot, I need a job. Let's go see who I can find. Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it is funny seeing the people that will come in and they'll be there for like 2 months, and you'll see them come in and be like, hey, I'm looking for a job. They'll be there this following month, and then you won't see them again.
I'm still brutally angry at the kid. We got the job on the spot. The one that said, I moved up. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah. He moved from
Tennessee or something. Yeah. I came up here. I got laid off. I need a job. He got hired in 3 days and we never saw him again. And I'm like, you dirty rat. I love it.
Right. Yeah.
And I hate you at the same time. No, you know what I mean? Because like,
you want that story. You want to hear that people came to the event. They had that success of like, oh, this recruiter happened to be looking for somebody that fits your.
At the crux of it, that's a success story that's why I do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So like we joke that we're mad that he doesn't come back, but I get it, but like, that's the whole thing. Give back a little bit. Randy and I are speaking at OCC, like a jobs event. And I'm trying to, maybe you can help with the content for this, because we're trying to figure out, it's different now. Because I said 10 years ago, we could tell a bartender to get an A+ and an ED+. Right, and we could send them to tech systems, and we could have them sit at a desk for 2 years and then go be a Linux admin or a server admin or get into security or start coding. It's not like that now.
Well, even with some of the meetups, we talk to people that are like getting out of these like coding camps and stuff, and they're just like, so I need to get like my A+ certification, but this certification is now like $400. It's like $400. What are you talking like for the entire
CompTIA sets?
Yeah, for like the entire course and stuff. And they're like, no, for like the test. And it's like, what? And I can't remember which one it was, but somebody mentioned the price, and I was like, there's no way. And I pulled it up. It was like, no, you're like off by $50 for this insane amount that he threw out there that it cost.
It doesn't hold any weight anymore, does it? Because I mean,
really, not that I've seen, at least. Like, there's a couple times where we see like resumes come in for people, and I'll get like the eye of it being like, hey, how does this person on paper look to you, kind of thing.
Right.
And I'll be honest, when I see like the certificates and stuff like that, it's like, unless it was, I finished that this year, it doesn't really make too much of a difference from like a perspective of hiring and everything.
Right.
At least for me, like hands on the ground, kind of running around and fixing things kind of thing. When I see somebody that's like, oh yeah, I took the A+ certification back in 2018 and I got my network back in 2019. I'm looking at that today and going, cool, but what have you done the last 3 years, 4 years since then?
So that was a argument we've been having for a while. Like, there's two frames of thought in hiring geeks. There's one is the one that's immersed in the culture and lives and breathes it, and his hobbies are work related, meaning, oh, I'm building a Raspberry Pi gaming server downstairs and I automated my blah, blah, blah. And and I go to Comic-Cons, and the other one is from 9 to 5, I'm going to bang and then I'm out.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I got scolded a few times because I wanted the person that was immersed in it, because then it wouldn't feel like work. What, like, your take? You're immersed in it, so I know what your answer is. But like, when you're bringing people on your team, like, what are you? Do you care?
Not really. I mean, obviously, when somebody's immersed in it, they'll be the person that's like up to date on like the latest technology. They're the person that like, you'll hear the weird story of like, hey, what did you do last weekend? Well, my server blew out at home, so I had to reload it all, and I ended up finding this new way to load all the drivers up in a faster way and everything like that. And then you go, oh, cool. What was that? And you like learn these other things with them instead of the guy that just comes out and he's just like, 9 to 5, I'm in it, everything like that, which I also love that guy because that's the guy that, stuff's going to get done during 9 to 5 and everything like that. He might not be up to date on the latest technology around the world and everything like that, but he knows what we're working with.
So let's get into that. Like, just so everybody's got a frame of mind, what your stack is. Are you like Microsoft Fortinet, the corporate stack? Are you like the Tom Lawrence ubiquities and are you a blend?
More of the corporate stack for everything that I do for work and everything that. Working with like Microsoft, Azure, everything like that in that kind of like stack of everything. But for home, it's whatever I can find for cheap on Craigslist that somebody's like, hey, business is going out, have this network stack of equipment. And I go, ooh, I don't know what that is or that is. I'll give you $20 for those. And then I figure out what they are, how to use them, kind of stuff like that. So my home setup is the most hodgepodge of business level equipment possible that is just spread all over.
Though.
Right. Yeah. But then, obviously when I'm at work, it's exactly like, this is like the cloud infrastructure kind of stuff that everybody's working with now.
So how did you, I guess, you guys are a medium-sized business. I wouldn't call you a small business.
Right. Yeah. We have, the big thing with me is it's a global operation.
Okay.
So we have to always keep in mind like the different like technicalities and availability of services in other countries, the way that software would work in other countries, the way that hardware is available in other countries. Like there's times where we have to go, hey, we want to like implement this kind of like tablet or phone or computer into our network. And it becomes, okay, so is that available in the United States, Canada, is that available over in Europe? Can we get something similar to that in Europe? Do we have that available to get like different keyboard setups if somebody in Europe has it? Because obviously
metric system. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metric system.
Right. How big's your staff, IT staff?
IT staff in the US, I think is about 30-ish.
Okay.
Globally, it's that I could ballpark it as probably closer to like a little bit over 100 overall. Some locations we have like 2 people. Some locations we have another set of 30.
So this is a CIO question I was asking. I'm just curious to get your take. Mm-hmm. Long time ago, 20 years ago, HP used to do this thing that 20% is spent on innovation, 80% on break fix. We want to flip that. And then you start talking today, even with the advent of AI, and it hasn't moved.
No.
The needle really hasn't moved. So how much time are you guys spending actually trying to innovate versus keeping the lights on?
It's probably closer to like 60-40 of just
which way?
60% break fix.
Okay.
Kind of stuff, 40% kind of new innovation. Right. It's a good kind of balance of stuff like that because you always have new systems you're implementing and you have to have ways to train everybody on that new system and everything like that. Like my job is mostly creating new systems and ways of deploying software and ways to manage software and everything like that. So the IT people, like hands on the floor, the guy that's going to respond to, Janice in accounting is having a problem with getting the new Windows update. I had to make sure that they have.
Tell Janice to reboot.
Right. That's 90% of the problem right there. But at the same time, I had to make sure that all the IT people that are like the person that's going to respond to that knows what we're using and knows how to use it.
So that's been a problem with the biggest enterprises. I'm just curious, like adoption.
Yeah.
It's like even like now, like with me, we work in the Microsoft stack and they'll roll out Copilot for 7,000 people.
Oh yeah.
And then they'll get a report back going after 3 months, 15% are using it now. But that's widespread. And that's been everything. We were talking about dead software licenses before the show started, but like how do you roll out software adoption? Because obviously you guys are paying a ton of money for these, for whatever it is it may be.
Right. Yeah.
And then you find out 5% of the users are using it. you know. But if you take it away, they'll kill you.
Right.
So you're in this conundrum.
We have some like legacy software that it's like, how many people are using this? 5. How often do they use it? Once every 3 years. But they make sure to log into it every year when it goes around going, hey, does anybody still need this? To make sure that they still have it. Yeah, you run into that everywhere you go. You always have that one guy that needs that software, but it's like, do you actually use it? No, you don't.
Right.
You don't.
Is that the biggest waste of money in the department? Not just yours, I think in general.
I would say probably that, in the fact that like every once in a while somebody will go, the worst is when people like hit the advertisements of software and they go, ooh, I need that. And then they come to IT and go, hey, I need this software. And it's like,
was that the old CIO magazine? We need the cloud. Why? Because, you know, actually, you know, it's funny. I not to get into the personal life. My 12-year-old said, I got Christmas money. I want an iPad. And I go, cool. Give me a business case justification on why you need an iPad. And she looked at me kind of weird. And I wasn't being funny. And I go, listen, look at the features that you get out of the iPad versus what's on your phone versus projecting to the TV. I go, it's just a bigger screen. Mm-hmm. Is it worth $500? What can you do better with that $500? And then she comes back at me and she goes, I want a switch that connects to the TV, not the switch light. And I'm going to get the older version because I got a refurb for $238. Now I can get 6 games and I can get the headphones and I go, there, better use some money. And I go, and you just completely justified it. So, I mean, you know, as I teach how my 12-year-old how to buy stuff,
she's going to be the user that people love at, you know, the IT department, because she's not going to go, oh, hey, I need this new typing software. Why? You know what? You're right. I don't need it.
Right.
Because we'll have people fight tooth and nail that they need that. And it's like, what's the business use of it? Because sometimes what happens is we'll have people come to us with a solution without giving us the problem. And then we have to work backwards to find what the problem is that they're trying to fix with that software and find if that's actually the right software they need.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you offer a catalog, or like, here are the solutions we have? Look through these before. Okay.
Yeah, we have like our standard kind of like, here's the software that's supported for ready for thing. Yeah. And users have access to that. IT has access to that. But for the most part, we'll run into situations where like the local IT doesn't like fighting the end users because they have to see their end users. So to like kind of give an idea of what level I'm on, we have like basically 3 tiers. You have the person that answers the phone and tries to solve something within 30 minutes. If they can't fix it, it goes to the next level. They're the people that will run to the computer if it's something that has to be physically touched. And then they'll also handle like higher tier issues. And then I'm at the 3rd level, where if they can't solve it, or if it impacts like 10 plus people, that means, okay, there's possibly more people it's impacting that just haven't noticed it yet. That's where I start touching it. So when we run into things where somebody's going, hey, I need this software and everything like that, and there's nothing on the approved list, they can't really say no, or they don't like saying no, because they'll see that person, you know, 5 times a day. Kind of situation while they're running around. Me, I'm at home 3 days a week. The other 2 days I'm in the office only talking to IT people.
Right.
And if I say no to Janice in accounting that you can't have that, you know, that's a final word. And now
she's going to miss a 0 on your payroll next week. I'm just saying.
But she'll hate me and won't hate, you know, Doug, who's in IT, that's going to have to figure out why her mouse isn't working because she left the dongle at home this time, you know, like.
Right. So I'm always I'm curious because I ran a desk at some time in my life, and I'm just curious as to how you develop like what's a P1, P2, P3, right? Like, because there's a lot of nuance in this. Like if it's the CEO and, you know, his printer driver's not working, that's a P1. I don't get, you know.
That's a P0. That's a, you drop what you're working on now, assuming that you're not, you know, right in the server room disconnecting cables at that moment to, you know, switch something over. No, you fix the CEO's problem, then you go back to what you were doing. P1 is typically, how many users does this impact? If this is something that actually impacts like a throughput of a system for what we do, which is like shipping out parts and stuff like that and making parts, like if one of those systems goes down and it's impacting like production in some way, that's a P1 right off the bat. It doesn't matter if it's 1 machine, 10 machines, the entire shop floor, that's a P1 if one of those machines kind of is acting up. Go see what's going on, go fix it, figure out what's happening. P2 is typically where it happens, where it's a couple of users are having this kind of issue. It's like a vague issue, but we have like condensed it down to it's a real thing that's happening.
Right.
You know, whether it's, you know, we're having a problem with this application on this port, whether it's we're not getting the right updates for this software, we're not getting the right driver stuff for this software. That's like a P2. P3 is basically everything else. This is, you know, I came in today and my computer's not connecting to the network for some reason. You know, that's a P3. That's, you know, it's impacting one person. But if that is followed up with like 3 additional tickets of people going, hey, I'm not connected to the network when I came into the office today, then it's like, okay, let's bump that up to a P2. Like there's also like a timetable as well. Like if you have 5 people within 30 minutes reporting the same thing, okay, that's a P2.
Right.
Let's start looking into this before more come in, because we know more will come in at that point.
So I'm going to jump around. Worst ticket of all time. I'm going right for it.
Oh God. Typically those are the ones that.
No, I want specifics.
Oh, specific. Ooh, okay. Okay. So worst tickets of all time. I would say one that involved somebody that specifically stated that they needed a Macintosh computer, Apple computer, to do their job. And what had happened with this was a couple jobs back and everything like that. We said no because Apple products just didn't work in our infrastructure and everything like that. The manager of that person decided IT didn't know what they were doing and bought them an Apple from, you know, their company card account, whatever.
Right.
Proceeded to contact us that it wasn't working and we had spent $3,000 on this computer. So-and-so who got the computer then proceeded to be like flashing it around the office. And so everybody in her department now also needed that Apple computer.
Right.
Again, we said, no, we can't even get this one working. He proceeds to buy 10, 12 additional computers. So we had this ongoing ticket for probably 6 to 8 months.
Oh my God.
Of dealing with this one thing. And the problem, the biggest thing was they needed it because they were concerned that Adobe Photoshop wouldn't work properly on Windows because they used it on an Apple at home and it wasn't the same on their Windows computer.
Oh, go figure.
So they couldn't use that. So that was a problem.
Oh my God. So you spent what, $30,000 on laptops?
It's something like that. And it was a concern of just being able to get it working with Active Directory so they could even log into it, because that was my first introduction to like even knowing that you could do Active Directory on Apple at all.
Right.
Was being like, what do you mean? We can actually do that? Okay, well, hold on. Let's see what we got to do for that.
Yeah, but you throw the entire IT department on its head because you want to have a cool looking,
right?
What you think is a cool looking,
right? And the question always like comes up in my head of like it, even though perceptually she might have been going, oh, it is working better now. Was it worth it to be down for those like 6 months,
right,
while we tried to do it and everything? And it was the daily ticket of what's the update on this? We don't have any. I'm sorry. I wish we did. We don't have an update today. And then the next day, what's the update on it? We still don't have anything. We're trying to figure out how we can do this. We're trying to fix other problems while fixing this problem you specifically caused, knowing full well we had no solution for you.
See, this needs to be a podcast, Tales from the Help Desk.
Yeah.
I don't think, is it done? Is there
I'm
one?
sure there's
a podcast. There's gotta be.
Yeah. There's a podcast of a guy hand farting. I'm sure that there's one on Tales from the Help Desk. No, because not that these stories fascinate me, but it's like the things that, because I'm old enough to remember when bring your own device was like a strategy.
Yeah.
Or are you doing BYOD? You know, and then Blackberries aren't supported, you know, the type of thing. So then everyone had to get this phone and can I get my thing on the tablet? Why do you need it? It's kind of like my 12-year-old conversation. Why, you know, now it's a no brainer. You put Intune on your phone and you get your stuff.
So ironically enough, you bring your own device kind of stuff. I was the one that helped implement that at my current workplace and everything like that. And some of the stories that people would come up with, what IT was doing with their personal phones of, are you guys tracking everywhere I go? No. Can you guys see all the pictures? No, we cannot see anything.
Check us hard drive.
Right. Yeah. Are you guys, watching everything that I do on the internet now and everything
at work?
At work. And then you have the things where we would have the like guest, Wi-Fi and stuff like that, where people would be able to connect to that with their personal device and everything. And they'd be like, are you tracking everything we do on it? And it's like, I mean, no, but yes. We're not individually going, hey, what's Steve doing on the, guest Wi-Fi? Right. But if you do something illegal, we have the breadcrumbs to find out who it was.
Right.
One
of my first, the second job I had in the data center, we found out because it was 4 sales guys and like 6 engineers. Our bosses were all out of Chicago. And found out that the engineers were all basically commandeering empty racks and started their own hosting companies with free bandwidth, free power.
Damn.
Right. And that was, And while we're sitting there on LimeWire half the day, download and burning CDs, it's amazing anything ever got done back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, even then, one of the places that I used to work at, we did have that situation with the sysadmin that was hosting his own stuff on the company servers. It wasn't found out until he got fired for something else completely unrelated. The new sysadmin came in and was like, hey, what's all of this stuff? What's this website? What's this server being used? What's this media server with all this
World
stuff?
of Warcraft server on there?
Right, yeah. What's all this stuff for? Is this like something that was done for the company for like entertainment stuff or what?
Right.
And CEO's like, what are you, or like the IT management and everything is like, what are you talking about? What stuff? And it's like, all this stuff that's taking up like, whatever it was, like 2% of all the hard drive space on the stuff. And it's just like, what?
Well, if you think about the Wild West days, who hired the first CIO, the CFO?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew accounting?
Yeah.
Right. So like that stuff could get, it's not that I want to turn back time. Okay. Share. But like the stuff we could have done that we didn't, like I was pretty good. I did the LimeWire thing. I was pretty goody two shoes other than that, even though I had full, access to, we were sitting on 3 OC3s. Back then that was a big deal. Like with one hop to the Chicago NEP, one hop to the Jersey, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's a big deal. And we didn't, I should have taken advantage of it more.
Well, this stuff you could have gone away with so easily.
Right.
And the best part is like stuff like that. It's so hard for the business to be like, oh, so what do we do about it? You just wipe it. You just get rid of it and it's no longer a problem. That's the solution. Unless you find something like highly illegal on there, there's nothing to do. No, he got away with what he was doing. He used you for free hosting for a while. What are you going to do? Back tax him on?
Of course.
Well, yeah, it was $15 a month approximately of what you were using for the last 4 years. Like, what do you know?
Yeah.
So Bob asked you about your worst ticket. What was your most fun or like most interesting ticket you had to deal with? Like, I'm really invested in this and this is a good head scratcher.
So those ones, I've had a couple that I really like, and they're typically the ones where somebody comes up with like an actual problem that it's like, ooh, we have to like look at new technology to fix this. Like
calling Microsoft support.
Yeah, calling Microsoft support, my favorite thing to do. No, now you just send in the ticket and you can contact them all via email now, and you never have to pick up a phone.
It's an AI agent. That's not even a person.
Right, most of the time.
Right.
But yeah, it's those ones where you get to like go, hey, we have a new technology need. And you start like going out and trying to find that. Like we had a thing where we need to find something where people could be hands-free, but being able to share their vision with somebody, like an engineer on like a machine or something like that. So they had like a camera, but they need to be hands-free. So they couldn't be like holding a laptop or holding a webcam up to something. So we had to find like the goggles and stuff like that, like HoloLens.
Okay.
And so I actually have one of those sitting at my desk at work because that was a possible solution for this, of being like, okay, here's a problem that is a legitimate problem. We don't have a solution for it. How do we find that solution? And I love those kind of tickets where it's actually something, not going, hey, I need this new typewriter software to like integrate into Adobe. It's like, okay, but why? And then we get those ones where it's actually somebody going, hey, we need to redo like a way for people to be able to sign stuff digitally from their desk without doing like mouse, like everything like that. And it's like, okay, we don't actually have hardware for that. What exists in a way that we could do that? Because I know they have like those e-ink pads that you can see at like Meijer and stuff like that. But what do we have that we could just hook up via USB to somebody's desktop and right off the bat it works, integration and all full, and like get business level support for it if we have an issue that works with other software? And like those are the tickets I love seeing, because those are the ones where I get to go, oh, this isn't the standard like, oh no, click here. Do you see the blue box? Okay, now next to the blue box, you're going to see what looks like an egg. Click that. Did you get a new box? Perfect. Okay, read me what it says on that new box, because in my head, I recognize like the pattern symbols of everything, but I don't remember the exact verbiage of something. And when you go click on edit, there's no edit. What options do you see? I see file, settings, click settings. Click through, So getting to see like something where I actually have to go, oh, I have to research this.
See how much stuff, how much liberty do you have? Like you do finding stuff. Because I mean, back in the day, I based on like listening to the ticket, I'm like, I rewrote the entire ITSM, the ServiceNow, the interface. Because I'm like, no, this is not this, you know what I mean? And this should be there was no password automation.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, we're changing that. So, I mean, how do they give you liberty to look for ways to automate?
Oh, yeah. So I have the liberty to kind of like investigate new solutions and stuff like that. Or if I go, I'll be looking at like blogs and GitHub and stuff like that for stuff. And I'll have the authority to be like, hey, this looks cool. Let's see if we can like get a test environment with this, see if it's something that we can use and everything. Obviously, there's some loopholes that have to be gone through and everything because of like legal stuff when working with business and everything, and making sure that like whatever we're getting, like the biggest problem is usually finding something that works globally. Because so usually it'll come down to I'll mention something to my coworkers that are in other parts of the world and everything like that, and be like,
well, because answer me that, because I don't know this answer. Like GDPR in Europe, if your stuff is on that, does the US need to comply with those standards since they're talking?
Sometimes.
I never got involved in like that aspect of like privacy stuff. So I was just curious if you knew or.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Sometimes it can be separated out to like, here's all the stuff for Europe that has to comply by those laws, and here's the stuff in the US.
Okay.
Like one of the things is in Europe that you might have never heard about, but is a huge deal for us because we have to comply by it, is everybody needs to have a private folder on their computer that they can store stuff in that isn't backed up by anything, that can't be viewed by anybody outside of the person that has that folder and everything. And as a result, like that's a security thing where, most places here in the US, you get a work laptop, that is work's laptop.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as private data on that laptop. But over in Europe and everything, there's certain countries where they need to have that private folder that they can store stuff in that the business doesn't have access to.
Interesting. Because that was my philosophy, was nobody saves anything local. Everything is OneDrive, period. That's it. Yeah. No, it's not even an option.
Right.
Don't even allow them to save anything locally. That's interesting that I didn't know that was a thing either. Like the private.
Do you ever have to deal with or fight with shadow IT where like a group is doing their own software or hardware or something and then you find out about it later?
All the time. That's one of those like nightmare solution, scenarios that'll come up where we'll find out that just some random team in one of the countries we have is like, oh yeah, we actually aren't going to use this solution you have because we already have something. And it's like, what do you have? and it's something that's only specific to that country. And we just negotiated contracts for licensing for like a global thing for this other software. And they're like, yeah, we're going to stick with what our solution is. And it's like, well, how are you guys installing that? Oh, we have it on a flash drive that we just go up to every computer and we install the exe through that. God. And then it's just like, no, we don't know. We have a process for this because we want to be able to manage that software, keep it up to date and everything like that. So it's always funny when, we find out about software that exists in our environment that nobody on my team that does the update management for software has even heard of, let alone knows that we're using it.
So speaking of like adding to Randy's, like at work, I went to grok.com and it was blocked and I go, oh, they blocked it. But I also know that they built like our own internal with guardrails. Like with the AI stuff right now, are you just, because most people just use it for super Google anyway. It's not like anything fancy. What, like, are you testing stuff? Are you rolling stuff out? Are you blocking stuff? Like where are you at in that journey?
So originally we did start with blocking it because there was a lot of, I want to say legal pressure that we didn't know, like it's somebody else. The cloud is always somebody else's computer.
Yeah.
And when somebody's going into AI, that's just a prompt that they're giving to somebody else's computer to figure out. And we don't know what somebody was going to be giving that prompt to try and find something. So at first we had all of that stuff blocked, but we've slowly started like roll out like Copilot and everything like that and had like official solutions. And so there's a way for people to use it and everything like that. But we always make sure that it's a way that it's like business critical safe in a way. Like,
well, that brings up like well, there's like a medium-sized company or small company because like I know the enterprises, they're all on Snowflake or Databricks and they got the data lakes and they have their LLMs and they're secure and they have their privileged data management and they have all the how advanced are you guys on that side?
Not really. We basically have Copilot with our like business license and everything like that for it,
which everybody's just making like Green Bay Packers pictures on. They're not actually
with my team. It's normally like, hey, we created a logo for this problem to like push our anger into kind of thing.
Yeah. Our fantasy football team logos.
How often do you update end user software?
It depends on the kind of software and everything. So like, Microsoft stuff is like Patch Tuesdays. You go through that. For other software, we're on different like news alert or newsletter kind of updates for it where we go, hey, this software just got the new update. Like Adobe just got the new Adobe Reader update. Is it something that we need to worry about because it's a critical update, or is it something that we can roll out next month kind of thing? Or does it have features that somebody is going to be looking for and everything like that? So we've also had that a couple times where people will come to us and be like, hey, we use this software, but we noticed that we're on version like 29 and version 30 implements this new feature that we would really like. And then we'll start going, okay, well, here's the pilot program, starting off with that user that brought up that and be like, okay, test it out, see what's working. If nothing else is working, make sure it doesn't break any of the other add-ons we have with it. And then it'll go to like a test phase where it'll go to a pre-selected kind of larger group of people. And then it'll go to production if there's no issues there. So that's the biggest thing, is making sure that it's accurately tested.
You don't just launch in prod? Was I doing it wrong all these years?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
You'd be surprised how many times people are just like, just push it. It's
See,
like, no.
my take is that maybe I'm an idiot, but like Microsoft updates, just do them.
Yeah, Microsoft updates, it's Patch Tuesday. If Microsoft's pushing it out, go through it. The only thing that we have like a step back on, which is something that I will be defiant on going, no, this is the way to do it, is drivers. Make sure those go through like pilot, test, production, because you never know when that Logitech driver is also going to somehow interfere with the Jabra driver for your headsets.
Right.
And you never know when the random update to, the Ethernet driver is all of a sudden going to change the USB driver and make it so, when you have more than 3 things plugged in via USB, none of them work.
Right. I want to get into security a little bit, but I don't want to get too crazy about it. Like, again, this is another thing, because I'm just thinking out loud, like you can go absolutely crazy with security.
Oh, yeah.
who makes the ultimate decisions on how crazy you guys are going? Like, is this like, if your intellectual property gets out, because I mean, you have privileged data, you have, your desktop firewall, you have your remote access, you have your, auditing the, service accounts,
Yeah. So we actually have a dedicated security team that creates those kind of things. They're the ones that like keep up with, we need to abide by these laws in this country, laws in this country, these laws here, and make sure that we're doing everything the way that should be. And they'll usually be like, hey, we need to be able to block people off from doing this and this on their computer, or accessing this, or moving files from this location to here.
No more Winamp.
Right, yeah. They'll come to us.
Don't forget to disable WinGet.
Yeah. But we can't have Zoom on the computers. We have Teams already. Why would you want Zoom on there?
I have to have everything.
You're that one user.
No, because when I talk, AWS just finally dropped Chime, but when I talk to AWS, I have to use Chime. Mm-hmm. Microsoft is on Teams. Databricks is on Zoom.
Somebody is on WebEx.
Google is on Google. Mm-hmm. Nobody uses WebEx anymore.
Oh, no.
Cisco, okay. Yeah, Cisco ruined that one like they do everything else. Did I say that out loud? But I have to have all of it.
Right.
Google Workplace, Slack for Salesforce. So I have to, and Databricks talks on Slack.
Oh, I can believe.
And I'm like, I got to keep all this stuff open, and Databricks. And I told him, I'm like, do not Slack me. You're going to get a 3-day response time. Just text my phone. That's the thing. Nobody calls anymore.
No.
I hate calls.
No, you know what? Our culture is drop 30 minutes on my calendar, but I have a 5-minute question.
No.
You know what I mean?
Send me a message.
And then you sit and talk fantasy football for
respond when I can.
25 minutes. Yeah. Right. But I'm like, yeah, because you can't call anyone anymore. Nobody answers. Or, it's
although I did get to hear that cool Teams remix ringtone.
I do not. That's why I don't call Teams.
The worst noise in the world.
You have the remix version though?
I don't know.
There's a techno remix of the Teams ringtone.
Oh, gross.
It's kind of fun.
It is not fun. Do you take that back?
Yeah, I hate that ringtone with a passion because
why don't they make it so it's unique? You can change it.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
No, you get to pre-select from these 5 horrible corporate sounding options only.
These all sounds that almost remind you of the alarm in the morning in terms of panic mode of, oh no, please no. It's
like that Miles Teller commercial for the Super Bowl when they were dancing to the hold music, which is the worst hold music of all time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's always messages now. It's
right.
Always the fun thing of just you'll see Teams message. The couple of times that it's usually people that are older that'll still call and everything, the older staff on IT and everything. You
just called me out, Randy. Do you see that?
Yeah. Because it'd always be
only
funny.
Old people call.
Only old people do that. Yeah, there's a phone app on my phone. When did that get there?
So we'll end with this: is the whole SNL arrogant IT guy? Is that gone? Because to be honest, I haven't ran into too many these days where it's you don't know,
Typically, those people get flushed out of IT very quickly.
Yeah.
Because IT, you got to be a people person because you're dealing with people all the time, and you're dealing with people that are angry the moment they start talking to you.
Oh yeah.
And whether they're angry at you specifically or angry at the problem they're having.
And if the word's out that Joey's an asshole,
right?
The thing was, I think the knowledge got caught up, right? Because I think at the back in the day, it was only a handful of people knew, and they held on to the keys because if they taught you, then that means their usefulness
frustrates me so much. When I call IT for help, I was like, "Yes, I've turned it off. Yes, I've tried clearing my cache. I've restarted. Yeah. I've done everything. I know the basics. I told you I did this, this, and this. You don't need to go through.
You know what that is? You know what that is, Randy? You go into the bar going, I used to bartend in college, so I know how to make that drink. And they look at you I'm an IT. You don't do that, do you?
Or no, just hey, here are the things I've tried. And then they're like, did you try this? I was like, you did not listen to a thing I said.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing is with putting in a ticket with a place, you already know what they're going to ask for. And you start putting that right in the ticket of like, here's the model number of the thing. Here's the version number. Here's all this.
When's the last time you
Here are the steps to reproduce the bug.
Right. Yeah.
When's the last time you rebooted your laptop? 2013. You know,
Or the worst part is like, I'll call it instead of putting a ticket because like, oh, this is kind of important. Maybe we can get it done sooner. And then the people on the phone are just like, create the ticket for you basically. And like, cool. Thanks for your help. That saved me no time.
Yeah. Well, the fun thing is when you have to like call to places like an ISP or something like that. I always did like the trick at home of I just unplug the modem, call them and be like, yeah, it has like 3 green lights on it instead of 2. Is that normal? And they try and ping it. They can't ping it. And they go, I got to send you to tier 2 support. Then I plug it in and be like, so here's the problem I'm having. You know,
right.
Because it's like, you're not going to sit there and be able to like go, no, I already did all the like pre stuff. I did the reboot. I checked this, I checked that and everything. Just get them to go, oh, this is already something off script right away. I don't know what to do.
So are you guys super competitive, like Ticket Terminator every month?
A little bit. Like we have like the times where we'll have like,
I'm just saying because I had a guy that would grab he would come in early so he can grab all the early tickets, and he would bang tickets. He would be like 2.5x over anyone else in the department, and loved it. He wanted the trophy every month, and like lived in that like world where, you know, I'm the greatest ticket. You know,
so some teams where I am do that whole thing and everything. Luckily, the team I'm on, we just look at how many tickets are open right now, and that's as a team. That's how many problems we have right now. So we don't go, oh, you know, Jack closed out 3 times as many tickets as I did.
So he took all password resets, at 6 a.m.
So that's, you know, that means that I'm only doing a third of what he's doing. No, instead we go collectively as a team. We have 22 problems right now that need to be solved.
Damn communists.
Yeah. Our problems.
Right. Oh, good. Anything you would change? How am I trying to phrase this? Like all the stuff you've learned all the years, like you've been doing this a while. Like, obviously you're thinking of ways to fix stuff. I'm just curious, is there the one thing that's evading you?
Of like how to
just anything. Like
fixing some process or anything like that?
Anything, yeah. Or like a tech that it hasn't come out yet.
For me, it's the AR kind of space and everything.
Right.
Because that came out swinging a couple of years back.
And died.
And it just died. Like you had Google Lens, you had HoloLens, you had all of these other startups showing up and everything. And they were doing cool stuff where they were like, hey, take a picture of what this, you know, product is or something like that. And we would have like vendors working with them be like, hey, this is one of our machines. And here you can explode it out so you can view it and everything. Like I remember watching the tech demos of like PC repair where you'd be able to put on like the Google Glass, you'd flip the laptop over, it'd tell you where the screws were right away. You unscrew it, you take the back panel off.
All that?
Right.
It's like it should have been like kids' books. If you think about like all the different applications that could have been used by that.
Yeah.
Like street sign. Like I'm just thinking like when you drive just to like, you know, it's all gone.
Yeah, it's technology that showed up, and I was so excited.
It's because you can't monetize it.
Yeah, there's no as a service for it.
Yeah.
Everything has to be a service now.
Brought to you by Wendy's.
Right.
Like, you know, you can't do that.
Yeah. It's
well, yeah. If you think about it, I could sell a kid's book, or I could sell a kid's book with an app with a ton of code that cost me another $70,000, and I could just have the kid's book.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you can't upsell AR. It's a value add. But if you're not, you know, but to different, I'm just thinking, just in any application, like to differentiate, you know, was it worth that development money?
Would it be worth it? Probably not. I can still pull up like the wiki on how to disassemble this laptop model.
Wasn't what building had the AR? I think isn't it Ventimiglia's, the sandwich place in Sterling Heights? They have like an AR, like you scan the wall and the wall comes alive.
Oh, that's cool.
I swear, I didn't try it last, but I'm trying to think of what else. There's a couple of those around, but like
there was a AR art exhibit around the city last summer before.
Oh.
You go to different spots, scan a QR code, and it'd pop up and show you like overlays and things like that.
Yeah.
See, that's cool. I would want to see more of that kind of stuff out there and everything, because that's piquing my like technology brain of like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the other applications we could use this for? Kind of thing.
Because if you think about like, the machine shops, especially at Day Job, we digitized the service manual of the robots.
Right. Yeah.
So the guys that were crazy expensive that are, looking through the manuals or could basically what's wrong, take a snapshot, opens up like the Copilot, whatever the Copilot was and said, okay, here's the, instant diagnosis.
Right.
Based on, a limited LLM. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible technology just disappeared. And now AI is the buzzword and everything. There was a couple things at CES that I looked at for AI that was just like, that's the dumbest use of AI.
They've always been. CES is like a fashion show where there's that one girl with that wearing like tires. Who thought of this stupid shit? That's CES, and you look at the top technology, and you're like, I bet you if you go back, because I used to go to CES like 15 years ago, I couldn't tell you anything that was there.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Nothing, and you're like, it was basically, ooh, new video game. I remember like when I was like the broadband over Powerline Coalition. I got in with that. I thought that was going to be the next big thing.
But did you see the handy personal stimulation device that was 20 strokes per second?
The HJ machine. Yeah. I saw that. It took me like,
it's pre-ordered already.
No, I'm actually watching and then I go, is that what I think it is? And then as she starts talking, I'm like, oh Christ.
And then there's a pro model that did like 100 strokes per second or something like that for $200 more.
Upgrades.
It's on CNET if you want to take a look.
And then
at
it's a monthly subscription and turns it sideways. I don't know.
Well, hold on. There's also, what was it? The hot water
We're not talking about
heater
this anymore. Oh.
That
if the water's high, why do you need to heat it?
Well, no, it was a Bitcoin miner. So it would mine Bitcoins and heat your water using the heat from the Bitcoin miner. So you would make money while you were using hot water. And
does anyone ever buy those lottery tickets? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which ones?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like a Bitcoin thing, and it basically goes all day and just looks for calculations, and like you can get get a coin, but the chances of it happening are like one in, like you'd have to have it run for like 20 years.
Oh, so
they're
like
little credit cards.
The ASIC miners.
Yeah.
I've seen those. Like what are they? Like Ant, Bitminer, stuff like that. Like I think those were some of the names of them.
They call them like lottery tickets.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because like you said, it basically is the size of a Raspberry Pi. You plug it in, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and you just forget about it.
Right.
And in theory, it's not using enough power that you're going to notice anything.
Right.
But you just kind of set it and forget it. Yeah. I've seen those.
Dumb. That's what we got to talk about next. I should have brought the dumbest tech that came out of CES.
Yeah.
We could have talked about that next episode. So those stupid robots, there was like that smug guy. Did you see that?
No, but you see the laundry folding machine? It was like a robot with like hands that was folding a towel. It was like 7 business days to fold one towel, and then it wasn't even perfectly lined up on the corner.
I saw the IKEA thing was cool. It's not CES though. It basically it inflates. You put the shirt over the top.
Okay.
And then it inflates, and then in like 10 seconds, it's perfectly ironed.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Blow from inside thing.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
See, that actually has practical use, though.
100%.
Right.
Make my life quicker, simpler.
And IKEA just launched a whole new line of smart products, like sensors and stuff like that, like $8 alarms and like a $20, $30 like air quality monitor and stuff like orders of magnitude cheaper than existing products on the market.
But we have smart Legos now, too.
Yeah, whatever.
What's a smart Lego?
It flashes and makes noise when you fly a spaceship through the air or whatever.
So it supposedly can sense what bricks are around it to determine what it is. So, like, if you build a fire truck and put it on there, it'll, like, make noises like a fire truck. And, like, if you do the ones for, like, Star Wars, it'll make, like, the Star
Have you ever
Wars
gotten
noises.
really deep on why Lego is so expensive?
Not really, no.
So the standards are like machine tooling for an automotive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you have to have super low or high tolerances.
It's like
low tolerances
the nano, or so like 0.003 or I don't know what the word is. Google it and read about it for like the next 2 days, and you're gonna be like oh, this is stupid.
Yeah. I mean, you need enough tension so that it stays together, but not so much tension that it
just buy me the 50-cent Duplos. Like, I don't need all this high engineer, but like Google, why is Lego so expensive, and just read like the standards. It's ridiculous.
I do know that one of their standards is that piece has to always click the same way day one and the same day 10 years from now.
There's a company on Auburn Hills that builds like those giant giraffes with like outside of like
for the malls and stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It did work for a long time ago. It was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know it's actually a company. I just thought it was some dude in his garage. Yeah. But Brad, we'll put your LinkedIn on. And if you ever want to meet Brad, he's always at IT in the D. So show up third Thursday, except for January.
Yeah.
And then, but we'll.
Sometimes he's at IT in the D when we're not at IT in the D.
I know. That's true.
I think I missed 3 last year.
Yeah, he's our fill-in host.
Oh, he is. Yeah. We're not making any board seats. We're not doing anything fancy. We're not that fancy. But hey, we're going to wrap things up for this episode of the IT and the D Show on behalf of Bob and Randy and Brad. Do us all a favor, drink up your drinks, get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Beat it.